What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Played Out Podcast, a competitive-focused Age of Sigmar podcast. My name is Kyle, aka Creator Gator, also known as Adult Number 1, and I am here with Adult Number 2, James. James, how are you doing?
Sometimes I'm Adult Number 2. I'm good, Kyle. It's been a minute.
It has. We've had some people ask where we've been. We've been adulting, unfortunately. I've been on work, and James has been on work plus family plus dog plus vacation plus everything. So we've kind of been struggling. But someone who hasn't been taking any time off is Games Workshop. Yeah. And they've been cranking out a massive amount of content. So like,
they've been cranking.
They've been cranking. The first week they showed us four armies in week 1, and then the next week they showed us 5 armies, and the next week they showed us again 5 armies. Mm-hmm. So we're probably going to see 5 more armies for the next 2 weeks, which is like an insane amount of content. So it's one of the reasons why we haven't really been commenting on it, is because there's a lot of content creators out there who are just kind of doing the same thing, where it's like reiterating what the stuff is telling us and kind of speculating a little bit, but because all of this information comes out inside of a vacuum, we can't, and we don't have the points, we don't know the other war scrolls. It's difficult to kind of pick apart and content or talk about how it's going to function and stuff like that without just literally reading it. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about what we consider the winners and losers for each week. So they've shown us 3 weeks of stuff, and each week we're going to pick out a winner and we're going to pick out a loser, and that could be a war scroll, a battle trait, a spell, something that either tickled our fancy or something that made us go, ugh. Brother,
brother,
brother. That soundbite lives in my head rent free all day, every day. But yeah, so week 1, they showed us Stormcast, they showed us Skaven, they showed us GLOOMSPIKE, and they showed us Night Haunt.
Hell yeah.
So James, do you want to tell me what you picked out of that to be your chosen winner?
Oh,
in week 1, what is your week 1 winner out of those 4?
My week 1 winner. So I have like a week 1 winner, and then I have like a little tidbits of spice, and I have I have spice winner, spice honorable mention. Right, the winner is the ROCKGUT. The winner's the ROCKGUT first and foremost. I thought they were going to get nerfed. They got buffed. Crazy. They have all of the good stuff from before, plus they have 5 health now, which is awesome because you can have a 30 health unit that heals and has a 5 award.
Yep.
And it's infantry, so it comes back.
The most insane thing about it is they showed us the Spearhead war scroll, which means they could be missing more abilities that are beneficial to them. Which is
they're only getting better.
Their stomps are only going up.
Yeah, 100%. So awesome. Also, really underrated. They have a control score of 2, for each one. So it's like your squad of 6 now is 12 on a point. Pretty good. All right, my little spice. The little spice. I don't mention little spice is the always 3 claw steps ahead is a battle trait from Skaven, where you just get to move in the enemy hero phase.
Yeah,
sounds kind of awesome.
Zooming.
Yeah.
That was, as I was looking through, that was definitely something that piqued my interest. I was looking at it as like, that is in the top contenders. That's definitely in the top 3 for the week 1.
What's nice because you can just be like, I don't need to screen. I can just move my for 0 command points. I can move my my clan rats into screening position when I need them to be.
Yep. And like you said, it's in your opponent's move or opponent's hero phase, so it happens before they move.
Yeah, and after the roll off. So it's like let's say you you deploy risky, anticipating the double turn, and there's like a clear lane between your rat ogres and their hammer piece, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, that didn't work out for me. I lost the roll off for priority. Guess I'm just gonna clan rats.
Yeah, and the does it say normal move? Or does it say...
I think it's a normal move, but hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah, the thing that is... we've seen...
that unit can use a normal move ability as if it were your movement phase.
Okay. I was wondering if you could get a run out of it. But yeah, we've seen in iterations of Age of Sigmar, and we've seen in iterations of 40k that being able to move your stuff outside of the movement phase and outside of your specific movement phase, especially before your opponent gets to do something about it, is insanely good.
Pretty good.
Very good, especially for no CP. That's great.
0 CP, and then you can redeploy them in their movement phase.
Yeah, that just happens. Yep. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's just there's like a lot of like little like minutia. Again, the game's gonna get more complicated because of the amount of interactions there are. But for my final week 1 honorable mention, and I know that this is probably going to be something along the lines of your winner, but the monster killer of Sigmar is quite spicy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is my winner of choice. Just because I own 3 of her and she's never seen the tabletop. I actually looked up her current war scroll because I was curious of how different the damage is. And yeah, her max damage is in combat is 12. That's the maximum damage she can do. Now one of her attacks is 15 potential damage.
Oh yeah.
Plus
YNDRASTA,
the other attack.
Hot.
Plus all of the anti-monster stuff, plus like the abilities of to double her damage when she's fighting a monster, which is insane. And then the other big one that like the damage is the big thing that my mind goes to, where I'm like, oh my god, that's so much more damage. That's amazing. But she also gets 3d6 charge. Crazy.
It's crazy. She's just an absolute like smash captain. Like
the only thing she lost was her ward went from a 4 up to a 5 up, which is kind of important on an 8 wound model. But like I would much rather. Well, she also lost her like auras. She used to give an aura of bring a person back, and she used to give an aura of like don't suffer bravery, right? Mm-hmm. But bravery's gone, and bringing the models back never really worked well with her, because like there was never a target that you wanted to bring that back on. The best case scenario was paladins. And they were never on the ground, really.
Dude, she's a missile. Like I'm just throwing her in. Like
she's going ham. And she's taking stuff with her. You find the monster that you worry the most about and just yeet her. I love that. I love that. That's what, because like I'm reading her book right now, and her whole like thing with her personality is like she's like, I got one job to do. She doesn't care about really the humans, like the regular humans that are around her. She really doesn't even care about the other stormcasts that are around her. Like she's like, yeah, I'm here to do this thing, and if like you guys aren't moving towards the thing that I want to do, I'm going to leave you guys. Like I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this war scroll feels so much more in character than just like this beacon of hope that like the old
this like old buff piece that like no one used. Yeah,
exactly. So
it's like that's not your job. Your job is you're a sword or you're a spear. You know what I mean? Like
go kill something.
Go kill something.
Yeah. Go find a monster. And
it's like a Spartan. Like Spartans didn't like Halo Spartans. Like their job, like a lot of like content that you see outside of like just Halo the game, you know what I mean? You see the interaction between Spartan and normal soldiers, and they're like, oh, like what do you think, whatever. And it's like the Spartans like don't make small talk, you know what I mean? They're like they have one purpose. They were very good at one thing, you know, and that's what they do, and that's what YNDRASTA should be, you know.
I like that she is very close to being able to one shot a Gargant. She can't, but it's super close, and that's insane. That like you can have a model that moves 12, fly 3d6, and almost one shot a Gargant.
Yeah, that'd be
that's
crazy.
1/4 of your army. So yeah, that's the biggest thing that like once they showed us that, I was super on board.
Yeah. All right, losers.
What do you think?
So my loser is Lady OLYNDER, personally.
Really? Okay.
I think that her war scroll, it's not terribly different. Like her shooting attack got worse. But I think that Nighthaunt as an army lack a centerpiece model, right? Like they are a like little horde army, and that plays well into their rules. They're really, really cool models. And I think other than the coach, like Lady OLYNDER's kind of it, you know? And I was kind of hoping like their named character got some, you know, really nice. And I know like you also have Nagash that you can bring into anything, but it's like, I feel like they themselves kind of need oomph in that department. And I'm interested to see what else comes out in the, you know, in the index. Cause like, I know that like their bread and butter is these like super efficient little like blocks of things, you know? But I kind of wanted to see a little more out of Lady OLYNDER. So it's if that's your like, oh cool, look at this army, and it's a cool sculpt, you know what I mean? It's just like definitely. I wanted to have better rules, you know what I mean? Okay, what is yours?
Speaking of centerpieces, this might be kind of a hot take. SCRAGROTT.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. He isn't hot anymore.
So, I mean, in context, there's we don't know any of the points on this, right? If YNDRASTA's 400 points, she's not that great, right? No. But
if like, Lady Olynder's 150 points, she's fine. You know, she's really good. Yeah. She's really good. Yeah.
And I know SCRAGROTT was relatively expensive. How much is he?
He's 230 now.
Yeah. You just put him in a list. We're getting ready to go to ACO very soon.
Yeah.
Which will probably be the last tournament of third edition.
Yeah.
It'll probably happen like the weekend before fourth drops. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, SCRAGROTT at 230. He has currently a profile that is worth the 230, right?
Yeah.
The profile that he has in fourth upcoming, I do not think is worth 230.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is the moon on the stick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're bringing him because you want to stop the moon. You're not really bringing him for any of the other reasons. Like you brought him in third because you need to control the moon, right? Because that's the only thing you can interact with your thing. But he also gave a bunch of other stuff.
Well, he also gives an aura. Like that's the big thing is like he's another node of the moon that all the time. You know,
100%. And then that alone, he lost, and I was like, oh yeah, like I don't like that's an L. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's taking a big L on that one. If you lose that aura, because then you now have to play much more into how the moon moves. Yeah. You have to pay attention to it a lot more. Yeah. The other thing is he lost pluses to cast. He has no pluses to cast.
No pluses to cast anymore. And his 3-up spell now, or his like 3 cast, like Fangs of the Bad Moon, is now 7.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane. The those two things, other than that, not a whole lot else changed. He still has Fangs of the Bad Moon, but he doesn't, unless War Master says something. I don't think they're going to make it this way, unless it's has something specific where he gets to know all of the spells and all of the lores.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't have that either.
No.
Which hopefully Hand of Gork is with some other stuff, because if not,
then like, whoa, I got to make some choices, you know?
Exactly. Which, I mean, is fine. It's fine to start making choices like that, but it is definitely a downgrade of what it was to what it is now.
Yeah, where he just knows everything, and he has the like aura of Bad Moon, and like plus his spells like really good, and it's like really easy to get off. Like there's like he's an auto include in basically every list, you know, because he's like so utilitarian. If you it's he's not an auto include for squig lists because he's not squig lists. You don't need the moon. You kind of want the moon, you know? But the like trogs, you need it. Like you need it or they're going to fall over, you know? Yeah. So
speaking of the moon and trogs, they kept it, which is crazy. The moon's different now, but it gives still gives the plus to save for the trog, which is the important one.
I mean, it works the same way that it did before.
Is it? But in third, did it work just on trogs? Did it work on everything?
What do you mean?
Like, did that plus to save?
That's only for trogs. That like
it was only ever trogs.
Each individual unit gets us like based on your keyword gets a buff, right? So like spiders don't get better at saving; they just get their better crit mortals. Yeah, exactly.
And that's basically the same in third and fourth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought it was like everyone got the bonus.
No. Yeah. No. It's what's it called, dude? If trogs were critting on 6s, you'd have a problem.
True.
But yeah, I definitely think that's a fair assessment of my boy, unless he's cheaper. Again, if he's 120, if he's like 150 points or less, I still think he's an auto include because of the moon thing. But like, if he's over 200, I'm like really like considering whether I take him or not, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. So that brings us into week 2, where they showed us, what did they show us? They showed us cities. They showed us Caradron overlords. They showed us ogres, and they showed us flesh eater courts.
Yeah, this was a thick week for me for Winters.
It was a very thick week. Yeah, like the first week was kind of easy one because there was less than 5, and then the other one is you've seen a lot of Stormcast. I've seen a lot of Gits. You know what I mean?
We know it's good. We know it's bad.
Exactly. We've looked around at the Spooky Ghost a lot because there was a lot of lists floating around when we went to our last tournament. So we kind of knew ish about all of that stuff. This stuff is like more new. But I'll start off and say that my big winner is the Cities of Sigmar battle traits.
Okay.
So they're off a car orders. That's going to be annoying to say over and over, but I think they're really strong. I think they're one of those things that's like they stayed from what they were in third, more or less. And I think what they were in third was very good. And I think you lose the little game mechanic that you like had to place them. You had to place them like at the beginning of the hero phase, right? And then they would go off, and you had to like place the tokens hand down or face down. And now it's just kind of like basically an extra command point. Like it's a command points that you get to spend for no commands. Yeah. Right. They're for no
cost
points.
No points. Yeah.
Cost 0. You just get them. And each like hero can do them, and they're really good. And each one has a little benefit if you have the specific like elf, human, dwarven keywords. The best one I think is the strike them down. Just giving like one attack characteristic to melee. Yeah. Throw that on some horses. And then the other thing is the free 3-inch movement in the movement phase is really nice because you're basically just adding 3 inches to any movement. And if it's a human unit, you get to pick 2. As long as they're wholly within 12, like that's really strong. Suppressing fire is a lot. Like it's more niche. You have to be shooting something with models in it. You can't shoot it at a monster. You can't shoot at a hero. You don't even get like that strike glass effect.
Models.
Yeah. But like, I mean, if you can strike glass trogs, if you can strike glass like that heavy like elite infantry.
Yeah. Bloodletters.
Yeah. The roll a dice if the result is equal to or less than the number of models. Equal to or less. Okay. So like you have to kill 7 for it to auto go off, which is a lot. That's a lot. But it's not nothing, which is nice. Yeah. And then the hold the line is great for doing screen things. Like you didn't care if they hit anyway, but giving them a 5-up ward is pretty dope.
Yeah, 5-up ward is good. It's just like my only thing is it's like, is that only on Dwarden?
No. If they're a Dwarden, they also get -1 hit.
Yeah, 5-up ward's always good.
Yeah.
Like basically being like, hey, you're going to get hit, you're going to get run into, and you're going to strike last anyway because you're going to do something to strike first. Yeah. Like we're going to give you all like a little more survivability. Is nice.
Yeah. So I was just surprised that they kind of stayed as they were, and that's why they take the W for week 2.
Yeah, I like that.
Also, I'm more familiar with cities.
Yeah.
So I
honorable mention
the combos.
Honorable mention Talia. Pretty nice.
She's pretty nice. I know she's going to be expensive, and I know there's only one of them, but the fact that she does a lot and hits a decent bit, which is super fun. It's nice to have that in your typical horde army. Yeah, so I like it.
Agreed.
What about you, sir?
So I think that the what's it called? Interesting. I didn't limit myself to one. I'm a man that chooses many. So my 2 honorable mentions for this week were Talia, because I just think that would be fun as shit to play with, and Kairos with the like crazy like the Zinch, like I get to pick up 2 battle tactics as like insurance policy.
That is true.
Like redo one, like awesome.
The redo one is crazy because you can just do one, and then just if they don't move your stuff with any of the movement ones, you just keep them there and then do it again.
Yeah, 100%. It's awesome. I mean, it's good. I think they need it, especially because they took away shit. Like, there's like one thing that they took away that is, I honestly think, my biggest loser. It's kind of tied between 2, but CRYPTGUARD stopping commands if they do any damage, and Usharon's just like strike last is like way better. Like, because they got rid of leadership, and Usharon's strike last before was like, I have to roll. It's basically like when you're in combat with him, your leadership goes down, and then he has to roll over your leadership to make you strike last, right? Yeah. And it's just like an effect that he gets to do. Now it's just like, if I can roll over your control score characteristic, you're strike lasted. And I'm just like, that's easy for horde models. You know what I mean? Like, they're control of 1 or 2 max,
Yeah. Was it control score or is it control value?
It wasn't control score. It was control characteristic. That's why I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Anything that I think people will very quickly I think there's going to be in the first month as people start playing it, everyone's gonna confuse that because it is a little bit confusing. Where like control characteristic, kind of like attack characteristic, health characteristic. It's the thing that's on the thing.
Pick up to 3 enemy units that this unit is in. Pick up to 3 enemy units in combat with this unit to be the targets. Roll dice for each of the targets. For each target, if the roll exceeds the target's control characteristic, the target has the strike last effect this turn. So you can be strike last, strike last, strike last. You know what I mean? And
it works on monsters, infantry, cavalry,
everything,
heroes,
everything. It's a great ability, especially for a slappy man. He's not like he's slappy. He's slappy. He's like healthily slappy. Yeah. He also has a 5-up ward and 16 wounds. So, and he heals. I think. I don't know if he still heals. I actually don't know if he heals anymore.
I forget if it's in their battle change or not.
He used to heal like D3 plus 3.
Crazy.
Yeah. But what's it called? And then also CRYPTGUARD just being like, okay, if we're gonna stand next to our heroes and give them a ward, and if we do any damage at all to you, you can't take any commands. Crazy. Especially for like a little chaff unit.
Yeah. It's like Roar, but it's more controllable. Because like Roar, you could, roll a 1 or 2.
Yeah.
With this one, it's like you have tools in your inventory to make it so that they lose a model.
Yeah, and they hit on 4s and 4s, but there are 10 dudes in a unit, and each one of them attacks 3 times.
Yeah, that's
30 attacks. 30 swings. He's got to do 1 or 2 damage. This is like
is it any wound? Or is it a model
if
removed?
Any damage points inflicted by attacks made by a part of the fight ability are allocated to an enemy unit, those enemy units cannot use commands until the start of your next turn.
Shoo. That's dope.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good. It's crazy good. So yeah, I think Feck made out like a bandit.
Yeah, the fact that they have the advantage of being a later battle tome, so that like a lot of the rules are gonna stay. Because they were writing that kind of with 4th in mind. Just they probably actually wrote it for 4th and adapted it for 3rd.
Yeah.
And it's like it's nice that they're keeping a lot of the same stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're still strong. Like these abilities are strong. Yeah. How about you for losers?
For losers, so I'll give an honorable loser mention. And as I was reviewing this today, I was like, that's my pick. And then I remembered, the actual loser is in here. So never mind. It's the actual loser. But the very close runner-up is Caradon Overlord's heroic traits. Because they get 3.
Yeah.
It's hilarious that they showed. They're like, oh, yeah, you get 3 of these. And then there's a sub-faction where you can take an extra one. And it's like, so you just don't get 1 of the 3. It was very weird that they decided to focus on that. Like that's the thing. And I had people commented all the time when it was like they focused on the Osiarch Bone Reapers like weird heroes instead of actually showing us a unit that people use. But they showed like the artillery piece, you know what I mean, instead of like these articles again are like focusing in on weird sections of the army that we don't see a whole lot. And I don't know if that's just what they want to do, or if that's like they don't want to focus on the things that everybody's going to play with anyway. But I thought that was odd that they showed that, and I was like, it's a big
debuff, huge debuff. Yeah.
And it would, especially since like now, I remember we reviewed it when we were talking about the winners of the big tournament that we covered. We were like, holy shit, they have a lot of like traits that they could choose from. You know what I mean? It was an insane amount. And now it's just 3. Oof.
Have fun.
Yeah. Giants got like 6.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's hilarious. But that if it wasn't for the fact that ogres are also in this week, and they lost their ogre charge, and that is the biggest L for me is the battle traits for the ogres, because like ogre tries for the thing. Like when somebody
I played that list, dude. I literally played that list in the last tournament, and it was brutal. Like
I played it in a narrative game where he like set everything up around 9 and just rolled a bunch of dice at me, and I was like, oh wow, that was a lot of mortal damage, and we didn't even fight yet. Like my whole army was basically dead. Granted, it's a narrative game, but it was one of those things where I was like, I forgot that they
tyrants also do like the monster mortals. And they just do D3 now. It sucks.
For people who don't know, it was you rolled the amount of dice that the charge was, and then for
3 ups, I think.
Was it 3 or 4s?
I think it was
It was
3s.
4.
Was it 4s? I'm pretty sure it was. I think for monsters it was 3s. Hold on.
Yeah, you fact check me. I'll keep talking. But yeah, that they rolled a number of dice equal to the charge roll, and then on a number that we'll find out soon, you dealt mortal damage to that thing that you charged. Which, like, if you roll a 10 and you roll 10 dice and you spike hot, that is an insane amount of damage before the fighting starts. So from going from that, which is granted a bit swingy, to on a 2 on a D3, you deal D3 damage. It turns into like, that's a lot less just raw damage. It's a much more consistent damage, but so much less raw damage. And I think that's one of the things that everyone's like, oh, god damn. They also didn't show off a whole lot of other stuff in the Ogre faction preview that people were pretty excited about. So it was just like, they took L after L after L. But I think also the priest lost the 5-up ward on their stone skin, which is another big L that like was pretty core to their dynamic of like just having that amount of wounds with a 5-up ward was something that they kind of needed. Any luck there?
No.
I can find it. What about you? What is your big L for this week? Let me find it. I can find it.
So that was kind of my big L. I was that for ogres and the losing the Stonehorns now don't have a ward anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy. That's like they're just bad. Like it's like they're just gonna die. Like the only thing keeping them alive was the ward.
Yeah,
it's a 6-up. I see that.
It's a 6-up, and they add 2 for each roll if it's a monster, so that 6 becomes a 4. And you add 1 to the roll if the charging unit has 3 or more models. So it was a 5 if you were charging with hordes. It was a 4 if you were charging with.
I feel like there's a way that they make it 3 or 4. I feel like that's the thing. I can't remember. I don't know how. There's a way to do it. I don't know. I don't play ogres, but. Yeah, I think that honor ogres was my probably big L because of the charge, no more charge damage, but also no 5-ups. That was bad. Stonehorns, like monster trucks, are just bad now. Like,
well, they haven't shown us the Stonehorn profile.
Yes,
yet.
they did.
So they showed us the Yeti guy.
No, they showed us Huskard on Stonehorn.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's just bad now. They're just bad. It's crazy.
That sucks.
The one thing keeping them alive, they weren't a super survivable army now. The one thing somewhat keeping them in the conversation was the ward on a 16 wound model.
Yeah. The big thing is they hit you before you hit.
100%, but they could do that for 2 turns in a row. Now they can only do it once. So
that's crazy.
They die. My other L was one thing that offends me that I would like to make known is Thunderer's gun profiles piss me off. Because they have 3 different gun profiles on a unit of 5 dudes, and I'm just like, I hate you. Just go explode and become nothing.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I hate it. So they're not losers; they're good profiles, but it just pisses me off. But the other loser is the Changeling, the Tzeentch Changeling, no longer autocasts on. Yeah, which was in the current season where you can just be like, I think I'm feeling Wizard. I'm feeling Blizzard right now. I'm just feeling it. We're going to change one of those dice to a 2. I already rolled a 2. You're getting auto Blizzarded, no unbinds. And I'm just like,
you're getting auto Blizzarded.
No unbinds. Have fun with that. Yeah. Feels bad. But he's just bad now, I think. So, but that's crazy. So he's just like unusable. And they basically took the teeth out of the Stonehorn's mouth. So
sad.
Get messed up, ogres and Tzeentch. Yeah. And Feck's eating good tonight.
Yeah. I completely forgot that for whatever reason they decided to show Kragnos' profile also in the Stonehorn one.
Yeah. Way more easy to be killed. That is not a 2-up save on that Grow War Skull, my guy. Yep.
If it wasn't for the fact, again, that it's in the week with the biggest L, I think, of the reveals, he would also be in the L category.
We're going to eat that. We're going to eat that Kragnos.
Yeah,
Did he get a 5 award, though?
Yeah, he still has a 5 up ward.
Which is
18
good.
wounds, 5 up ward, 4 up save. Not terrible.
Not terrible.
Like,
he is gonna live a turn, right? He's gonna...
Yeah. He has a spell ignore on a 3 up, which is nice.
It's pretty good.
He doesn't have to what's it called? He doesn't have to like outroll you this time. But yeah, no, it's just, oh man, I just wish they would have like shown a Stonehorn or something. Like, what is keeping this army alive then? If you're going to show this,
The lead belchers, maybe the guns, but like I can tell you confidently, it's not looking good.
No, that sucks.
The Huskard on Stonehorn has 14 wounds with a 4 up save, and they subtract their like stone skeleton. Is they ignore the first damage point that would be allocated to them during this phase.
Cool. YNDRASTA just did 30, so it goes from 30 to
29. Yeah, exactly. Like, I hope you didn't miss that ward.
Damn, dude, that is such a shitty rule. I hate that rule. I've seen that like rule. Like, they should have just had -1 damage, like the scaly skin from the Seraphon. You know what I mean? I feel like the Seraphon is also going to be.
Oh, they're going to get. I mean, but Croxor are kind of hot.
Croxor, okay, so Croxor are hot. The Carnosaur, its spearhead profile sucks.
Yeah, it does. But if we're going to be honest, Kyle, it's current profiles.
I know. Why'd you have to feel like you make it worse? It's a big dinosaur. Come on.
Just let me play with big toys. Dinosaur. All right. Let us move on. Again, there's a lot of
the funeral of the ogres.
We haven't talked about, like, me and Kyle have literally been like apart for weeks. I've had separation anxiety from my boy.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
We're honestly talking about all this for the first time right now, so it's like very like back and forth. This Thunder thing pisses me off so much, dude.
Tell me about it.
Every time I look at oh my god, I'm gonna read you the profile.
Yeah, read me the profile. So listen, we're good on time. We got time.
I literally saw the character because I don't understand KO. I've been shocked by KO, and I'm just like, sure. Okay, I receive it. I have chosen to receive the shooting.
I'll take it. I don't care.
But let me just read you this. The frigate, hot. The what's it called? All right, here we are. Thunderers, the Gunstock Thunderers, right? Each model in this unit is armed with an Aether Shot rifle and a heavy gun butt. They're also 2 of the 3 models are armed with Aether Shot rifle and Aethic fumigators or deck sweepers. 2 of 5 models are armed with Grunstock mortar Aether cannons, and then the leader is armed with a rifle. And they all have different profiles. Not really. But whatever. It's fine. I'm not mad about it.
Sure. They have different ranges, too.
Different ranges. Different amounts of shots. I just don't understand why this was necessary.
What's hilarious is that I've read the articles, not like head to toe as I was for like a faction that I'm familiar with. But I also listened to content creators talk about this. And this was one of the things they were like, oh my God, they took away all my fun stuff. And I'm like, what?
There's 8 goddamn guns on that sheet, you fucking idiot. Go suck on those dwarves.
There's so much.
It's so stupid.
Dude,
it's all the same. Like, honestly.
It's all going to do 1 damage.
Yeah, who the fuck cares? It's red 1 damage. Just give them all 3 attacks or 4 attacks. Call it a fucking day.
Literally, they should have just made this like basically the same profile with just different abilities. They did that on I'm trying to remember the actual profile, but they did that where it was like literally the same thing. Oh, it was the Ideneth Deepkin like cavalry shooter thing.
The Alopex?
Yeah. It has the same weapon. It's like choose one of them, and one of them is
you just pick one monster
versus
it's anti-cav, anti-monster, and they're it's the same effect. It's just which one are you shooting at?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's literally just pick that gun. So yeah,
it'd be awesome if that's how it was, Kyle. It would be awesome.
It'd be too efficient. You know,
too efficient.
You gotta give something. Listen, they also. Oh man, I completely forgot about this. But they changed the rules for how things work inside their boats. So I don't know if you read that, but basically
I don't understand boats.
Yeah, so like they used to be inside the boats, right? Now they stand next to the boats.
Okay.
and like they move with the boats, but they're outside the boats.
So you can charge them outside the boats?
Yes. You can charge them outside the boats.
That's cool.
But now you have to like KO lost all of the appeal to me, because the appeal is I want to move 4 models around the board. I don't want to focus on all the little guys. I'm trying. Yeah, pick a number of units up to that sky vessel's transport capacity that are wholly within 6 of the to be the targets. Units that have been transported this turn cannot be targets. Remove the targets from the battlefield. After it ends its move, you must set each target until the unit onto the battlefield wholly within 6. So it's basically like they go in, they move, they come out.
Stupid.
Yeah, I get it, but I also am like, I hate that. A unit cannot use a charge ability if it was transported in the same turn. So it's basically like they don't live inside the boats anymore. They live outside the boats, and when you move the boat, you can take the little guys with you, but then they pop right outside of the boats. I don't like that from like a perspective of, again, one, I wanted to move 4 models around the board, and 2, I don't like it because like it feels not like thematic.
What it should be.
Yeah, they should be inside the boat. They shouldn't be like getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out.
That's not how I drive my car.
Yeah. Why are they? No. They're stopping. You don't understand. I don't know if you've ever traveled with a family member that has an extremely small bladder, and they have to stop at literally every like, what's it called? Like not checkpoint. Stop. Rest stop. They stop at like every single rest stop. So like every 30 minutes, you're stopping for them. Yeah, like that. I guess there's no bathroom on board. That's why.
So annoying.
Yeah. That was one of the changes that I was like, I get it. You want to be able to hit the things that are outside the boats.
My brain, this is an army that will always piss me off. And like,
yes.
And it's Tau. I get it. It's Tau. I did this to you. I did this to other people. I know that I made people go through this, but I'm just like sitting here and I'm like, I've been hit by this and it sucks and I'm never going to learn it and it's always going to suck. It's always going to. I'm not to learn it. I don't care.
Sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the artifacts of power. That was the one that they only got 3 of them.
Woo, Voidor.
Big
woo.
sad.
Woo, good job, guys. Hey, you guys are like crazy aether work.
Treasure hunters.
You know. Yeah, you got 3 shiny rocks. I hope you have fun.
The big dumb like mega gargant guys get 6. I don't know.
I don't make the rules.
They're taller, I guess.
You guys are the ones that make the things. I don't know. You guys guess you kept some of them.
True.
All right. Speaking of Mega Gargans.
Yep. You want to talk about it?
No,
tell me about it.
I don't have them on my list. They're not on my losers or my winners.
Ah, damn.
Yeah. My week 3, we have Fire Slayers, Idnith Deepkin, Megakin of Nurgle, Sons of Behemoth, and the OCR Cabone of Reapers.
Yep.
For winners, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Go for it.
All right, my winners. One is for me. This is for me. I just like it because I've always liked the eels, like the little eels. Them getting a ward when they charge, awesome. Because it's a 12 wound unit for 3 of them. You know what I mean? Like 12 wounds with 5 up boards, good. That's just good. That's math. That's 4 more wounds. That's math.
Yep. That's a whole nother body, basically.
Yeah. So it's just good. And I don't know. I just think that it makes them a lot spicier, especially because they move so fast. And like as like a little redeploy threat or a counter charge threat, they're like really nice. And the real big winner is the Great Unclean One. Bro, 20 wounds, 5 aboard.
He chonking.
He's thick.
He chonking. He also got faster. He used to only move 4. Now he moves 6.
Yeah, he's thick, dude. He's a big boy. You put respect on that man's name.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if unique is a thing anymore, but I didn't see that in the war scroll.
It's not. It was like that was the other thing was they took away his weapon options, but I'm happy about that. They just give him one good weapon and just let him roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only reason you wouldn't take multiple of him is because you want the Locus of Nurgle ability, right? And you can only do that once per turn your movement phase.
Yeah.
That's where you bring stuff back.
Got it.
So like you can't bring multiple back, and I imagine point wise you're going to be paying for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't want to bring.
So you probably don't want to like double and triple up. Although,
but you could.
Only there's a lot of stuff about this guy that I like. Also, he casts he's a 2 cast wizard.
Yeah, just a 2 cast wizard, just big chill.
Pretty hot.
Yeah.
I think people were talking about how the Lord of Change was also a 2-cast wizard.
Yeah. Crazy that this gigantic pack of sludge and, you know, the literal boon of a boon of the god of magic. Like,
yeah. The named, as I was going through, the named character that is the Lord of Change. I forget what its name is. But
Fateweaver.
Yeah, it's a 3-cast.
Yeah, but it should be more.
Yeah, probably.
Nagash. Nagash is a 9-cast wizard. And Kairos Fateweaver is the Archon of the Lord of Change.
Yeah, they also said, like...
Or the Archon of Tzeentch.
Yeah, they said in the article that Tzeentch was the, like, god of magic. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
He is the god of magic.
I'm surprised that you say that, because I've always heard of him as the Lord of Change. And I know he does a lot of magic, but it's kind of crazy how you haven't shown us anything past a 4-cast for the god of magic. Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't like all the elves. Aren't they all wizards? It kind of sounds like they're the god of magic.
It kind of sounds like they're better than you are at this. Listen, I don't want to.
Sounds like you lied on your resume.
This isn't like a dick measuring contest. But if we're going to be honest, if your dude and your thing is you're the god of magic, maybe cast more.
Maybe cast more.
Maybe don't have like deceased like Ungors in your list.
Hey!
Those are...
They said in the article they don't know where those come from anymore.
So disrespectful.
You're like, I don't know
what you're talking about. I don't know. They're from insert Beasts of Chaos. We've never heard of that before.
Never heard of them.
I feel like that's such a disrespectful way to handle this problem. It's like, hey, you can't play with your toys anymore. Also, the ones that we steal for everything else, those were always there.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. I love it. But yeah, no, the Great Unclean one has me looking at Nurgle, especially like I 3D printed some big elementals for my potential Gargant army that I'm working on, and I have Great Unclean One files, both from one-page rules and from shady places of the internet. So like I'm sitting here and looking at the Great Unclean One being like, oh, I love that.
It's kind of
love the idea. You know what I could do? There's no cap on that. If I bring a reinforced unit of like
Great Unclean Ones.
If I bring a reinforced unit of Blight Kings or a reinforced unit of Plague Bearers, like I can just bring back 10 Blade Bearers or like, 5 Blight Kings. Like there's a lot of stuff where I look at that and I'm like, Also, you can bring back flies because they come in units in 2. Granted, you only get, it's a 4-up and you only get to do it 5 times and something already has to be dead. So there's a lot of asterisks on that.
Crazy. It's crazy. It's almost like that already exists in the game and it sucks, Kyle.
Yeah. They did. Remember how we were talking about how like the like picking a model in a unit and getting rid of it? How there was like 10 different ways that they had written them doing that. The way that they're doing things coming back or things being deep striked is like extremely faction specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Stormcast just come.
Nice.
Continue. The Skaven have to like come out of a Gnarhole.
Still come out of the moon.
They come out of the moon, but now they don't. It's a command point, but they get it automatically.
Which is
what I mean? Which is better. I'd rather pay for it and have like, actually get it instead of
I'd rather not gamble my money away. I'd rather like go to the store with like an appropriate amount of money and be like, yes.
Exactly.
Goods and services that I'd like to pay for. Here you go.
Let's see how much money I have.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I go to the grocery store and I'm just like, hey, cashier making minimum wage. You want to roll for it? I'll either pay this bill, I'll pay you double, or I get it for free. And then he goes, dude, I don't know what you're talking about.
Imagine going up to the self-checkout and like the person who's there like monitoring you looks at you, you look at them, they're like, you're like double or nothing, like pull up.
Double or nothing. I can't go to ShopRite anymore.
I'm on a list.
I'm the only one on the list.
Trying to steal food with dice. Oh, good times. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
big thick one, big unclean thick lad.
Dude, I want the thick one so bad.
Yeah.
I want 3 thickies and just like have them there, big chunkin'.
Nice.
I love it. 10 out of 10.
All right, big winners for you.
So it's the Idoneth Deepkin battle traits, but one specifically they kept High Tide.
Oh yeah, baby. Third turn. Oh baby.
Yeah.
The only reason that you play the army.
Literally. I mean, granted, it's one of those things where it's like if they took it away, you better give them something else. But having a army-wide fight first on one of probably the most important turns of the game,
yep,
it's crazy. And like typically with their movement, you get to pick exactly when and where you want to fight.
Yep.
So there's a lot of like, on turn 3, I'm going to hit you with everything. I'm going to hit you so hard, and I'm going to fight you first.
I'm going to call your dad. I'm going to tell him that I'm going to show him your report card from the 7th grade.
So there was so much like when granted, I like skipped to that. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah. Okay, High Tide. They keep High Tide. Okay, it's still a strike first. Crazy.
Low tide, flood tide, ebb tide. Get out of here.
Also, it's battle round. Like not a turn. So like, yeah,
the whole round.
Yeah,
if you charge me in your turn on turn 3.
Yeah.
You know who's going first?
Play turn 3.
My whole army.
Yeah. Also, you charge into me, I countercharge with somebody else, and now I have 2 units inside you that are going to fight first before you even get to play the game.
You know what's crazy? You know what's some crazy schnid?
What's that?
Kelly King just does that all the time.
What's that, charge?
No, he makes like an aura of fight first around him. It's disgusting, and it's terrifying. He doesn't. I think he can only do it once per battle, but...
Did they show that off?
No. He does that now. Like, he can do that now.
Okay, that'd suck if he got rid of it like the SCRAGROTT thing. I don't think they will.
No, I don't think so either. He has like actually no way to survive. So
yeah,
there is not a single ward in this. Well, I'm not gonna say our wards. Like certain the aspects of the sea gets one. The turtle gets one. But the turtle doesn't get one. He just gets +1 to save.
Yeah, very paper.
Yeah, like no wards.
Yeah, you get to fight first, but you better use it right.
Oh yeah,
or else you're gonna get.
You better
slapped.
Kill them because they're gonna kill you.
Yeah. The other thing was I like that Kelly and Alopex's abilities. Mm-hmm. Like one, we talked about it already, but their ranged weapon profiles. I love that where it's just pick one. What do you think you're gonna hit more? Cavalry or monsters? Pick that one. It's the same profile. You don't have to learn anything more. The other thing is I like regardless of what you take. You have the ensnared shooting ability, where you can pick a monster or a cavalry unit that has been damaged, and then on a 3-up until the start of the next turn, you subtract 1 from the number of dice rolled when that unit makes a charge.
Yeah, pretty spicy if you're choosing to do that during your opponent's turn.
Any shooting phase, crazy. They're like, all right, and I'm going to move this guy up, and he's going to be 9 inches, and you're like, sick, boom. You're not making that charge.
He ain't charging.
You got +3 to charge and roll 6? No? Okay. You don't make it.
So.
Yeah, dude, this game is going to be like very tactical. It's going to be
going to feel so bad for new players.
That is I do like how they've laid everything out. However, there is going to be a lot of that. Oh, by the way, this thing I'm going to do in my in your shooting phase is going to make it so you don't get to do the thing you wanted to do.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I mean, there's a lot of asterisks, right? So like you have to roll for it. They have to be damaged. Yeah. So like there's still a chance it doesn't work, but yeah, it's going to be in your movement phase.
I do live in a world where I want to like play a full table of sharks. I know that they're really good right now. They're not going to be good in the next edition, but like the sharks are just good.
The sharks are dope. I don't know what the turtle does, but I love the turtle.
Turtle gives +1 to save with everything around it.
Okay. But I mean, most of your stuff stays on 4s and 5s. Yeah. Bringing that down to a 3 is kind of important.
Pretty good.
Having an eel with a 5-up ward, like you said, if it charged in the same turn. Nice. Mm-hmm.
Again, these are like destruction saves. Like 4s are like destruction saves. Like you're going to die, you know?
Yeah. True. But I like it.
It's good.
Overall, I like it. I know. I mean, you currently have a box of them.
I do. I have them for Spearhead. I'm excited. The Mighty Thralls also kind of hit hard for infantry.
Scrolling.
Rend 1 damage, anti-infantry 1, so it's 2 rend against infantry for like a 10 wound like screen unit.
Yeah, fair for 10 wound screen, right? Yeah, rend 2, and I think like solidly 50% of the time you're going to be fighting infantry. Another 30% of the time you're going to be fighting monsters, and then like the rest you're going to be fighting Calv and Hero, IMO. Like, there's a lot of infantry you got to cut through. And then, granted, there's going to be some lists with monsters and Cav. But
all right. Losers. I got losers. I got my loser for this one.
Tell me about them losers.
Loser, I think I'm saying the Magma Dross did not get better.
No.
It is very killable. And it's killy-ish. Very, very paper. Like, 6-up ward, a 4-up save.
Okay. Wound?
14. Or health? It's 14 or 16.
Okay, yeah. I currently own many monsters with that profile, and they go down pretty quick.
They die. They just die. And it's like, that's like your hero. That's like your Carnosaur. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
literally.
And it's just bad. Like, it's like, and it's like, it does the like splashback a little bit, but like, there's one turn you can give it a 5-up ward, but like, I'm telling you, that's not saving it. You know, and at 14 wounds. 14 wounds.
Damage did definitely go down this edition, so I'm hoping the 14, the 16, I hope that like means more now with like 4-up ward. You know what I mean? But your like damage went down, but did it go down enough that all defense being your only plus?
Yeah. You get to 3-up on your best day.
Yeah. I mean, not best day ever, but
there's no best day ever anymore.
So yeah, and like people have said in the testing, like when they've been able to play a full like 1500 to 2K point game, like there's a lot of times you don't want to use all attack or all defense because you want to use that command point for something guaranteed, where like you're just making your odds better on one or the other. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, if I have to spend a command point to get like a unit of 3 Trogs back, or if I have to spend a command point
to save like, this one. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It comes down to 4 command points per round when you have a lot more of things to spend them on. You know what I mean? You're not buying a soda pop and a candy bar because that was your only like 4 options when you went to the store. Now you have the whole store to choose from. So soda pop and candy bar not as important anymore.
Yeah. What is your what's your big losers?
So it's not really a big loser, and I did legitimately struggle to find a loser in this list. Besides, I don't like Flyer Slayers typically. Bony Boys like kept a lot of this, like they kept the vibe of their same stuff, and I thought a lot of their stuff was good. This might be a controversial take potentially, but my biggest loser is the future BLIGHTKINGS.
Interesting.
Yeah, so let me tell you about what they lost to kind of let me show you the facts. So they lost a wound. They lost a point of health. They went from 4 to 3. They did, however, gain a plus of save. So they went from a 4-up save to a 3-up save. Okay. They went from 5 attacks with that same profile to 4 attacks with that same profile. And then they used to have abilities that helped them in combat. They had combat effectiveness. They would just do mortal wounds and they would increase their attacks, right? So now you're looking at, granted it's a 3-up and a 5-up ward, which is very important, but you're looking at a unit of 5 of them going from 20 down to 5, or 20 down to 15 health, like total for a brick, and then 40 down to 30 for a reinforced.
It's bad.
Yeah. So that one little change in that characteristic, I was like, ooh.
They got the anti-trog work. Instead of getting an extra health, they got 1 less health.
They got 1 less. They got better to save, which, I mean, is not bad. They can be a 2-up.
I mean, 3-up save, 5-up board is like Trogs when they're under the light of the bad moon. So
yeah. So they have 5 models, not what's it called, but they're not hitting anything. Like 4 attacks at a 3/3 minus or 3/3 1 rend 1 damage.
Yeah, they're not picking up big models.
No, you're fighting like they're a good anvil, I guess.
They're an okay. They're a decent anvil.
They're a decent anvil, But if you want to just have an anvil, you can get 40 health worth of
great and clean ones.
Well, you can get 40 health worth of plague bearers because they're 2 health each. So now you can have a reinforced unit of that and have 40 health. Granted, they're at like a 6-up save with a 5-up ward, but I mean, depends on the points, obviously. But
I do think that these are going to be a good anvil. Like 3s, 5s is good. You know what I mean?
3s, 5s is good. 3s, 5s is good. I just like that a lot more on a 40. Like, I think I would have reversed it. I think I would have preferred the 4-up save with the 4 health than a 3 health with a 3-up save. Mm-hmm. Literally, you like reinforced going from 40 to 30. You know, you're losing a lot of percentage there. Of chunk. IMO.
You're taking away the thickness. Mm-hmm. And Kyle's down with the thickness, as we know.
I am very down with the thickness. The future, I've read the 2 Gargus books. Or Gardas books, and they focus a lot on future BLIGHTKINGS, where they're like knights of Nurgle, and they're super cool. I love them.
Yeah.
So like, I wanted these guys to be cool because like I love these models. I think like their lore is cool. The dude's got a little Nurgling coming out of his stomach. I think that's amazing. You know what I mean?
So I love the lore about Nurgle. I just hate the models. Like I love the lore. Like I love that they call him grandfather. I like that they're all just happy. You know?
Yeah. There are literally days where I'm just like, I feel like I'm like chasing my tail, running around. At the end of the day, I know I'm going to wake up and do it again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, we've been adulting a lot, and I'm like, man, that Nurgle theology where it comes like, hey, why am I doing this? Everything's going to rot anyway. You know what I mean? Why don't I just relax and enjoy it?
Rot.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's rot. rot weekends, homie. But yeah, it's more of a, we'll see how it goes, but it didn't make me excited. So what do you got for your L's?
I said my magma droths.
That's right. That's right. You did say magma droths.
Because I just like, it's a really cool model. It has really cool. It's like very killy, but I'm just like, they're gonna, unless they can get right where they need to go. Because again, they don't like teleport. They're fast, but like unless they can get where they need to go, or they could somehow show up from the side of the board or whatever, like it's gonna be hard for them to get in. You know, like they don't fly. Like.
Honestly, like, and that's like Storm Drakes are good. Like Storm Drakes are really, really good because they have a 12-inch move and they fly. Their damage profile, although it's fine, it's not the best thing. You pay a lot of points for them because you get to choose where they hit that, where they like send that damage.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And if you have a mediocre damage profile, you better have that movement to make it up for it. So I don't know. What's their movement?
10.
10?
They're spiders, but they don't fly.
Yeah, that's fair. People have been saying like a monster, if it's not over 12, it's kind of a lot less hot.
Yeah.
So movement is important in this game.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I want to see the spider profile so bad.
I know. I want to see everything, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the dragons are the ones. I want to see Kara's eyes. That's going to be spicy as hell.
Kara's Zaddy.
I love that, man. I want him to get in there and slap some stuff. The fact that Krondy, Dragon of Magic, doesn't have a ward save, you're like...
That is wild.
Just give me a ward.
Give him a 6-up. Please.
Just give me a 6-up. A permanent 6-up.
Please.
It ain't big.
It's not big.
Yeah. I did like that he was close on him going to 20 wounds was nice. And keeping a lot of the stuff that he kept. And actually having a shooting attack.
Getting roar.
Actually, dude, actually having a shooting attack and not just like the mortal wound.
I don't know, D6s.
Huh?
I don't know, maybe D6, maybe nothing.
Maybe I'm gonna roll dice, maybe his was on a 1, you dealt 1 mortal wound.
Oh, that's
and
good.
Then everything else. But yeah, I like that much more. I don't have a list of all the things we haven't seen yet, but I can tell you the thing that I am most excited to see as far as the factions. Ironjaws.
Oh yeah!
What the hell are we doing with Ironjaws?
I want to see that. I want to see 6 wound pigs. 6 wound pigs, 4-up save. 4-up save.
Why would you bring that
4-up
upon
save.
This world?
6 wound pigs.
Okay. I mean, as an owner of, I want to say like
6,
9.
It's either 6 or 9. You either own 6 or 9 pigs.
I think I own 9 pigs.
It's a lot of pigs.
It's a lot of pigs. I own 9 pigs, a Maw Crusher, a shit ton of Ard boys, the old ones. and some of the little foot heroes that came in the boxes. But like, we don't have a Vanguard box for them.
Nope.
Or a Spearhead box.
Nope. They did just get resculpt, so I'm assuming that there's one coming.
I assume so too. I assume they're gonna put like a big pig, one of their little like Gonk heroes, and then a unit of 10 of the Art Boys. Right? That's probably gonna be their box. And like, I'll probably buy it because I don't have any of that stuff.
You don't have a big pig.
I do not have big pig. So
I have only small pig.
I have only small, gross kind of pigs.
Their big pigs are also gross.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but that's definitely something that I'm like very curious about, especially as we're talking about Spearhead stuff. They don't have a Spearhead, so what happened there?
What happened? Why no Spearhead? Especially when they just got new sculpts. Why no Spearhead?
Why no Spearhead? So, do you have a faction that you're looking forward to that has not been revealed yet?
Not revealed yet. I definitely want to see Soul Blight.
Yeah.
I don't really give a schnid about Korn.
No.
I don't give a schnid about Slanesh.
No.
What else are we missing? Oh, Dinosaur, Seraphon, Obvi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seraphon.
Seraphon are definitely the ones that I'm like, I want to know.
I just want to see what the dinos do. What's that dinosaur doing?
What's the dinosaur doing? I don't think they're going to do much. They already they are. We know that the Warriors have still have their +3 on a say.
I want to see what's it called be terrible. I want to see
Slan.
No,
Big Slan.
No. The Auric War Clan's Stinky Orcs.
Oh, the Cruel Boys.
Yeah, Cruel Boys would be dog crap again.
They've been dog crap the entire edition. Nah. They have one rule that makes them quasi-competitive. Yeah. And just because you got dicked by that one rule.
I did not get dicked. I just think it's a bad game experience, it is.
True. It's not up for debate. It is just a bad game experience. That's definitely true. What did they show? They said next week we're getting...
Daughters of Cain is next.
Daughters of Cain. Yeah. That's like the Order faction that I care the least about.
Meh.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, you have most of the Order factions already. You have Stormcast, Fire Slayers, Ideneth, Daughters of Cain, Cities of Sigmar, KO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're literally just missing Daughters of Cain and we're missing Lumineth.
Yeah.
And they haven't shown us Sylvaneth yet.
No, they have not. Sylvaneth would also be cool. I'm also interested in Sylvaneth.
I'm interested in Sylvaneth too.
If I had infinite money, I'd buy Sylvaneth.
Yeah, they're so expensive.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm looking through the list right now. We haven't seen Hedonites of Slanesh. We haven't seen Slaves to Darkness. So we'll probably see an Archeon profile and maybe a Varangard.
Yeah, Slaves to Darkness.
Death is only missing Soul Blight.
And then we're only missing Auric for Destruction.
Yep.
So
it's close. It's coming.
It's definitely coming. It's probably going to be next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot of chaos. You're going to get Korn. We're not really missing that many.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, the addition is close.
It's Seraphon, Sylvaneth.
Yep.
Blades of Korn. Slanesh. Slaves of Darkness. Soul Blight, and Auric War Clans. Right?
Yeah.
That's 7.
I feel like, why are we? I thought it was 10. They said 24 factions.
24 factions. We have 15. So we're missing 2. Daughters of Cain.
Daughters of Cain. All right. Throw it in your fingers.
And Lumineth.
All right. There it is. 10.
9 plus 5 is 24. 9 plus 15 is 24.
See, this is why you got to make the game simple.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Quick
we like this game.
We're both engineers. 1, 2, 3. Quick math.
2 plus 4 is 4. Minus 1 does 3. Quick math. Everything men on the block. Smoke treats.
So yeah, it's mostly, honestly, Order is what we're missing the most of.
Because they have the most.
But yeah, excited.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Any final thoughts? Is that what
any final thoughts?
No. I just hate Thunderers, and I will continue to hate them because their profiles are stupid.
That's fair. The people were kind of making a stink about the City's Cavalry. They went from being really good at being slappy, and now it's it went from 3s and 3s to 4s and 4s.
They're bad.
And they go from 2 wounds to 3. You know,
I'm gonna eat that horse.
Yeah,
eat that horse.
Feels like a very edible horse.
I don't think that helped them anything.
No,
that's one extra horse.
2 damage on the. They get 2 damage on the charge. You know, yeah, just like a very, very drastic pulling of the damage lever that the horses were experiencing.
So. Very eatable horse.
Yeah. I'm excited to not have my brain get racked to play cities because I own the book and not have my brain get racked about all the crap that's going on. Yeah. Just be like, all right, pick these things and these things. All right, good, done. I can finally play the game. Sick.
How about you?
All right,
any final takeaways? Cities?
No, that's it. Just that. I'm excited. I want it to come.
Nice.
I know.
You gotta stop pausing, dude.
True. No, it's coming.
Nice.
Nice. The edition is almost here. We're very excited about it. It's hard to sit here and like do anything but read the articles every day and be like, okay, cool. And I'm like, next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Give me the game. Like, bring game.
Bring game. They showed us like how to play on YouTube. And I commented, I was like, cool, when is the core rules PDF come in? They're like, we should have that to you soon. It's like too little should maybe. So I just want the rules so I can sit there and look at my stuff.
I want to read them and eat them. And to absorb the power.
Yeah. The big, I mean, this has been a flood, but the big floodgates will open when they actually give us all the PDFs because they're going to do it the same way they did 40K, where it's like, all right, we're going to release order today. And then they're just going to dump it all on you. Then it's going to be chaos. And then it's going to be, death. You're just like, oh my gosh, I have so much to process, so much stuff. And every subreddit that is like Stormcast Eternals and faction specific has just been going crazy, digging through everything, trying to find all the combos, find all the stuff, find all the broken bits. And then they're not going to show us the points for that. So everyone's going to be like talking about it with a bunch of asterisks of, well, if this is pointed correctly, you know what I mean? So
like, this is my list if it's not completely fucked.
Exactly. So yeah. Other than that, we have ACO coming up, which we're both going to be at. It's going to be a fun time. We're probably going to talk about it, which will be a good.
If you see us, come say hi.
Exactly.
Say us, from the podcast, so we know people are out there.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, we'll cut it off there. James, it's been nice hanging with you. Good to catch up and talk some Sigma. I'm happy for it. I'm excited. True. All right. Well, we'll see you guys around. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you. See you next time.
Peace. Bye.